He was in real close, trading of punches. Ferreira said, "Hey, I can hold your punch. How about one of these, matey?" I think it was a left hook or something. Just took poor Ryan Bader, stiff-legged him a little some, straight down, still compass mentis, covered up, and Henan just laid down some elbows and some punches. See you later, alligator in a wild crocodile, and then jumps on and says, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, Wagwan, what's the deal? Ngannou, I'll fight you in PFL. We can do this mixed martial arts thing, but as you saw, I'm just using hands, or we can do the boxing thing." It was announced that obviously the winner will be facing indeed Francis Ngannou. Let's see what it do. Obviously, he's got Mr. Joshua, Mr. AJ coming up. So looks fun, man. The landscape within the heavyweights, and don't forget as well. And I don't know how this even worked out. John Jones was there, and he was even given a headset microphone and had a pretty long conversation about, promotions coming together and fighting and stuff, and how he enjoys it, and who's the baddest man on the planet, etc., etc. It was interesting to see. Didn't think the UFC would allow such a thing. Obviously, Connor's gone all over the place, and BKFC being a main one. But yeah, man, interesting, very interesting. Co-main event, and he gets that belt. He got that nice new super bout, super fight. What was it? Whatever the hell it's called. Yeah, side still got the big dotty ring in there. Whether it's practically able to actually be worn, depending on the size of the gentleman's hands, is another thing. Johnny Eblin defeated Impa Kasanganay, a split decision. That was a very, very close fight. Um, Kasanganay did his thing, man. He did his thing. I think, hmm, looking back at it, I think he could have maybe been a little bit more active, which that would have sealed the deal because it was indeed a split decision 29, 28, 29. Sorry, 28, 29, and 29, 28. So it was indeed close. Eblin's eye was half shut, but he's a bad man. He's a bad man. Eblin is excellent. Didn't look as good as he has historically. Now, is that just because of well, styles make fights, yeah, but Johnny has genuinely ran through people. This was a tough, tough fight for him. I wouldn't mind seeing that whole thing played out again. Definitely, it's somewhere down the line. If PFL is still a promotion, that should be a part two. Run that one back. The ass kicking machine, Jason Jackson, as I done said, came in. And Ray Cooper the third, very short notice, second round, 23 seconds in. Jason Jackson did the thing. He was chewing him up with some low leg kicks. He was literally turning him around into in essence a 180 position. Jason's a problem, man. Jason is a problem, and he's got a nice little shiny bat along with Mr. Eblin. Bellator cleaned up. Let's just put it that way. Um, PFL got one win. And now this is why the UFC are like, we ain't gonna do nothing like that. We're gonna put our big name on the line, and then obviously it's a fight. Anything can happen, but we're gonna talk the thing like we are the premier organization. But yet, you would have thought competition and all, and proving. What did I say? Show and prove. You would have thought UFC would have been saying, yeah, yeah, Bellator, come, let's do a little call, let's do a little something. Yeah. Um, UFC versus Bellator, and we're gonna wipe the floor with you. You're not gonna win anything, and that should be manifested in the physical, right? Then he moves on to then the UFC moves on to another promotion. That's what they should have been doing. Obviously, there's not much, so it should have been Bellator. Then they should have went to PFL, and then they should have said, "Yeah, one company, let's do it as well, man. We've got a little relationship. We did the trade before. Let's make some big noise, man, and also in doing that, shining light on the other organization. So I understand why they don't do it, but this is a prime example. I mean, the card was messed up, man. They messed the card got shuffled around like no one's business. It wasn't champion versus champion. There's literally two champions fighting each other, but let's go down to Vadim Nemkov defeating Bruno Capoloza. Technical submission, arm triangle, round number 2. Vadim moving up. I said he was a problem. Fedor Team Fedor, who was indeed in the corner. Listen, depending on if, let's just paint the picture. Let's paint the picture. At some point, later August sort of time, Ferreira goes and fights Ngannou, depending what happens there. I mean, that's going to be an interesting one, that would be an interesting one. The winner should indeed face Vadim Nemkov. Unless something interesting happened, because look, Linton Vassell is in limbo land at the moment. He should have been fighting Ryan Bader. So maybe it's going to be a Linton Vassell versus Vadim Nemkov for the right to fight for, this super bout thing or the super fight, something, there's so many different layers to this PFL / Bellator, the super fight division, the European, the BFL Europe, all the kind of stuff they're doing. It's interesting. It's very interesting. A little bit confusing, but yes, good fight. Yoel Romero defeated Thiago Santos, unanimous decision, 30-27, 30-27, 29-28. What a boring fight. Yoel Romero, he's getting up in age. Thiago Santos' knees has been destroyed. He's no more the threat he used to be. That was pathetic. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, gentlemen. I respect the fact that you're professional athletes and you're putting it all on the line, getting in that quote unquote squared circle. But you got to do some stuff. It was silly. It was silly. I expected a lot more action, and the referee wasn't exactly, nudging them or urging them for more action. It was interesting to say the least. Very much let down with that fight. There are people saying maybe they both of and let's see, didn't Thiago Santos take his gloves off? They did comment about it, but there was no mention of any retirement. But I think it's about that time, man. Because I mean, you're facing not a young, hungry lion. You're facing someone of the same kind of age bracket. You've both come from the UFC. You've got similar experience in regards to fight experience. You should be both getting at it, man. And if it gets to a decision, then it's going to be a case of it was a little bit close, but this is the person who kind of won. But yeah, I'm disappointed, man. Disappointed in that fight. AJ McKee. Mr. Snickerman, we don't see him with the Snickers anymore, defeated Clay Collard very, very quickly. First round, triangle armbar, 1 minute and 10 seconds in, leg kick exchange, few punches thrown. Clay Collard was like, well, I don't care about none of that stuff. I'll eat these punches. AJ was like, oh, okay, no problem. Let me submit you then. Right? And I was expecting a little bit more, but AJ said, look, my man's taking the power a little bit too much, got into a position, grappling position, switched it up into a submission. Congratulations, AJ McKee. K Collard wasn't, he wasn't happy with his performance. He obviously wants to come out and do the thizzle wiggle, quote unquote. But he's going to be back, man. He's talented, man. We unfortunately didn't get to see his skills displayed. And on to the next man. But AJ McKee, second fight at 155 pounds. Let's see how they map his career out moving forward. Aaron Pico, who looked tremendous again. He's got a little fuzzy little hair thing going on. Defeated Henry Corrales, who came in on like 25 minutes notice. I mean, respect to him, man. Respect to him, but he had no business being in that damn ring. No cage, squared circle, PFL smart cage, whatever we want to call it. He had no business coming in. Respect to him for for keeping that fight going and stuff. But and there was talks of Aaron Pico saying, "Yeah, allow all that business. Like, I'll fight flipping Pitbull." Do the Pitbull fight. I'll fight Pitbull because his fight, we didn't see Pitbull fighting. So PFL, this event, you came with the best intentions. The actual card, like the production of it, was pretty good. The pacing of it was done pretty good. Lots of celebrities there, obviously, etc., etc. Interesting to see what the actual pay-per-view numbers are like. Now let's go to the GOAT, Clarissa Shields, who defeated via split decision Kelsey DeSantis, or however you pronounce it, who was 1-2. Now she's 1-3. Clarissa Shields is now 2-1. Congratulations, young lady. We're talking about someone who was trained from whenever she started doing boxing in one discipline, and over a 3-4 year period has managed to get a 2-1 MMA record, and not in an exactly like a regional promotion, in what they call the second market leader. Congratulations. She came out whopping at times. I've definitely got to go back and watch that fight again. Overall, I was disappointed. The more we got into the main event, the main card itself, it delivered. But on a whole, the card did not deliver, unfortunately. Where are we going to go in regards to... Actually, no, let's not do the score yet. The 2 million, let's not forget about that. 2 million, the opponents of Francis Ngannou will be getting. So it's going to be this isn't going to be a red panty day. This is going to be whatever terminology we're going to be using. Obviously, let's see how this story plays out. But if you're going to get 2 million to fight Francis Ngannou, that's some real nice money right there. I mean, where people did Nate get 2 mil? It was $1 mil plus, I know, to fight Conor. Let's see what happens. So let's go for the score. I'm going to be generous. And I'm going to give...
This episode is sponsored by Supreme of the UK. Click the link in the description and support the broadcast.
PFL versus Bellator Champions League, or whatever they call it. I'm going to go for a 6.5. No. I said I'm going to be generous. I'm going to go for a 7.2. Let's do a 7.2 on that. And, they've got some lessons to learn. And let's see how the rest of this year plays out. And let's see because this is going to be a yearly thing. Let's see how the next year plays out.